Tonight Gigi Buffon is back. Coppa Italia is 50th time in the Meazza, in the stadium shared by Inter and Milan. Well, he played his very first game in the far 1996 versus the Rossoneri. When he was back then already playing with Parma, he's going again with Parma to beat and to eliminate Inter from the Coppa Italia. Will we speak about Inter Parma? Absolutely not. We have to speak about the week that is bringing us towards the big game. Napoli versus Juve on Friday the 13th, but also Mercato. Something is already starting to move, so put a maximum of likes, subscribe to the channel, we start. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. What a strange way, what a coincidence to start the week that is bringing us towards Napoli Juve, celebrating the birthday of Maurizio Sarri, ex-coach of the Bianconeri, but also the last one that was able to bring a Scudetto to La Vecchia Signora, also an ex-coach of Napoli, still a supporter, big supporter of the Azzurri. He was the one that was able to change the mentality with his Sarri ball, with the Partenopei, not able to implement that with Juve. Strange way to start Napoli-Juve, isn't it? Corriere dello Sport is not speaking about Maurizio Sarri, but he's speaking about Spalletti versus Allegri. Allegri that played versus the Napoli of Sarri, that's played already versus the Napoli of Spalletti. Spalletti is doing fantastic things, even if at the moment never won a Scudetto. He's favorite in the big duel of Friday night. Well, the game has already been played here, in their mind. We will speak all week about that big game, but who are the first protagonists of that game? Tuttosport is saying, attenzione, the big protagonist could be the leader, the capocannoniere of Serie A, Osimhen, with already 10 goals, but also the other one, the defense of Juventus, with 0 goal conceded in 8 games, with a man that is back after missing out the game versus Udinese. We are speaking about Gleison Bremer. How do we have to man-mark the man Osimhen? Well, we have to anticipate it, because otherwise it will be really difficult. We enter a bit a tactical part of the video with Osimhen, that when Napoli is going with counter-attacks, he starts wide on the right side without giving any reference of the field. When they have the possession, when they are really close to the box, he's there centrally, trying to find the space between the two defenders, especially in teams that are playing with 4-man defense. The heat map of Osimhen is really clear, a player that loves to be in the box. Bremer will be on him the entire game. He will be his shadow. He will man-mark it. It will be a spectacular, really spectacular duel that we will see. A duel in the duel. Bremer will have to pay attention to the movements of Osimhen, because if doing so in a 3-man defense, he can easily lose his possession, and that will be one of the keys of the game of Friday night. Of course, there are a lot of other ones that we will speak during the week, like who will play, Elmas or Zielinski. Zielinski that is favorite to be back after missing out the last game. Zielinski, the mind, the beautiful mind of that midfield of Napoli. He will be an important one. And then Rahmani that will be back on the defense. Rahmani that was the one that actually unmarked, or was not able to man-mark Dzeko for that 1-0 of Inter. Well, if he can give a beautiful gift to Milik or Kino or whoever will be in that box, that would be really nice. Who can be the one that can be dangerous for Juventus? We are speaking about the Argentinian number 22 Di Maria and the Italian number 7 Federico Chiesa, that according to Gazzetta dello Sport could potentially even start together. According to me, I believe that we can expect a surprise. Not the both of them on the field, but Federico Chiesa. Why? To put some pressure there on the field offensively on the right side, but also to limit Kvaratskhelia. Not give him all his potential offensively, but obliging him to defend. Well, Kiko Chiesa, 1 year after that big injury versus Roma that we celebrated yesterday, the 4-3, 1 year after his last goal, coincidence, another one versus Napoli, we could potentially see the number 7 on the field, creating magic and waiting for the other magic of the number 22 from the second half to continue to put 90 minutes long some pressure to Napoli. The one that will certainly not be there on the field are Pogba and Vlahovic, but attenzione, because both of them, we have great news, fantastic news. They are really close to be back on the field. Why? Because this week they already started to train individually with the ball, and it's okay. They are not feeling any pain anymore. The body is reacting as he should. So this week they can probably anticipate and partially join the team again for some training session, which is great because that's the last step to see when they will be ready. Will they be ready for Napoli? No, we'll repeat it, but they can potentially ready for the Coppa Italia game versus Monza. We can't wait. If it's not Monza, it will be Atalanta. Vlahovic, a lot of people told me, Beppe, will he be on the market? And that's where we start the Mercato talks. Well, no, he's not on sale for Juventus. Juventus made a big investment for the Serbian player that will be 23 in a few days. Well, we are counting on him. Arsenal, they are not interested anymore. They were absolutely not happy with last year's negotiation where he preferred and wanted only Juventus, so forget about it. What about the other Mercato talks with Danilo? There is no Juve with Danilo. With this Danilo, with the number 6 of Juventus, the captain, they are in talk to extend until 2026 and maybe even the end of January we can officially announce it. Juventus is monitoring on the right side a player that is called Singo from Torino. Maybe not for January, but maybe we have to push a bit. Who knows if he can come? But for that we need to sell one. Who can be the one on the list? Fagioli? Absolutely not. I know that Chelsea is keen to go on him after missing out on Benacer that is extending with Milan. Well, Fagioli is not on the market. Allegri believes in him, in the midfielder that is bringing some quality in the midfield as a real mezzala. The one that is on the market, and we know it, has been nearly publicly announced by Juventus, not on the media, but at least to other clubs, is Weston McKennie. What is happening to Weston McKennie? His best season at Juventus was the one with Pirlo, where he was doing fantastic things. Surprising a lot that didn't know his skills of entering the box, going with a header, shots inside the box, really beautiful vision of offensive plays. Well, tactically, involution. He went a bit behind. He's not always answering what we are asking for him. And if we know that Paul Pogba will be back, that we discover two players like Fagioli and Miretti, probably we are too much. Can you already think about Pogba being there at the end of the month? Who will be the starting midfield? Pogba, Rabiot, this Rabiot, Locatelli or Paredes. With the first sub that are Miretti and Fagioli. McKennie will be there, 6, 7, 8 midfielders. There are some offers from Bournemouth, from Fulham, from a lot of clubs in the Premier League, but probably relegation clubs, not good enough for McKennie, or at least this is what he's considering. He would love to go in a bigger club in Premier League like Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea or whatever, but they are not calling him. Not even Dortmund at the moment is giving an official bid. What about Milinkovic-Savic? He's not renewing with Lazio. He's waiting for Juventus. Well, I am not sure. The big battle will be between Sergei Milinkovic-Savic or Adrien Rabiot. If Adrien Rabiot extends, forget about Sergei Milinkovic-Savic. Gazzetta dello Sport is speaking about Lukaku and the lost momentum, and also about De Ketelaere. If we are speaking about a Lukaku lost momentum, well, one goal only for the Lukaku 2.0. At the moment, is absolutely not a winning choice. If we are speaking about Milan, disaster start of the season from Charles De Ketelaere. And it's not the only one. I remember in the beginning of the season, a lot of people were telling me, Beppe, fantastic Milan. Look at them, look at the management, look the sporting side of Milan that are buying really great talent for a cheap price. They were talking to me about Dest, about Vranks, about Adli, the new phenomenon, about Origi for free, and then about Charles De Ketelaere. Even Thiaw, some people told me about Thiaw. I never saw him playing. He played 4 games with Milan, not enough at all. The Mercato of Milan has been so far a disaster. They are second, same points as Juventus. Let's see if these players will show something towards the end of the season or not, but at the moment it's not working. One that is leaving Serie A, and that makes me totally happy, especially now, is Malinkovic. Malinovsky from Atalanta is going to Olympique Marseille. He's already official, and that's already great news, because when we play versus Atalanta, at least he will not score, because we know it every time we play versus Atalanta. He's the one that is scoring at least 1 goal. Guys, let me know what you think about the video. Maximum of like. Speak about the different topics in the comment. I love to read them. I love to take the time to answer them. Subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza. Juve.